Perhaps the time has finally come, after all these years, to tell the tale from the very beginning, though perhaps the beginning is, in fact, the end. Perhaps both the near and the far will find in its folds some amusement, a moment of escape, a lesson, or simply a story to read. It is told, dear listeners, that in the late 1960s, a young Amazi woman named Tabouhdout lived in the city of Khénifra. She was blessed with a beauty so breathtaking that it could make trees and stones weep, shatter the pride of men, and ignite jealousy in the hearts of women. Her beauty was of such magnitude that, as one of Khénifra's master storytellers put it, anyone who laid eyes on her would feel compelled to pick up an olive or oak branch and, well, insert it where the sun doesn't shine. Her beauty and charm became the talk of markets, villages, military barracks, and even prisons. Men flocked to her, hoping for nothing more than a word, a glance, a shared cup of tea, or, if fortune smiled upon them, a night of revelry, depending on the degree of her favor. Women, consumed with envy, followed her as well, hoping to gather a shred of her clothing, a footprint in the dust, or a single strand of her shimmering, sun-kissed hair to use in a spell buried deep in the cemetery of the forgotten, in a desperate attempt to strip her of her reign over men's heart. Yet Tabouhdout was no prostitute, at least not in the literal sense of the word. She never begged for money, nor did she entertain those who failed to intrigue her. But the generosity of men knew no bounds. Some gifted her homes, others adorned her with gold and jewels, some sacrificed lambs in her honor, and a few even held grand feasts just for the chance to be in her presence. It is said that a military commander was so enamored with her that he ordered a bridge to be built over the Herbia River, just to shorten the distance to her house. She traveled in luxurious cars to cities that most of Khénifra's residents had never even heard of, let alone visited. In a town where many struggled to find a mule to take them to the weekly market, she lived like royalty. And so she became the subject of endless gossip, cursed and slandered by men and women alike. They branded her with every foul name their small minds could conjure: whore, harlot, degenerate, sinner, hurling insults like stones as if trying to bury her under their collective shame. Eventually, the tribe had enough. In a moment of collective humiliation, they cast her out. Her own family disowned her, desperate to rid themselves of the disgrace she had brought upon them. They all turned their backs on her. And yet, deep in their hearts, the men knew, if given the chance to spend a single evening with her, they would have sold their mothers, abandoned their wives, and forsaken their children. As for the women, had they been offered even half of her beauty, her allure, her ability to command the devotion of men, they would have willingly surrendered themselves to a legion of devils. Khénifra slammed its doors in Tabouhdout's face, leaving a deep wound in her heart. She felt like a lone thyme shrub, desecrated by a mangy dog's piss. The Herbia River bore witness to her tears as they streamed from her fiery, luminous eyes. And were it not for the soothing murmur of its waters, like an Amazigh love poem whispered by the poet Hamu Ulyazid, she might have unleashed a wrath upon them all, the kind of hellish fury only a scorned woman knows.